Hi, my name's Felia Davenport, and I have an exhibition called Torn Mixology at the Kranzberg Art Gallery. It's about racial identity, and more importantly, it's about how I identify as a Black multiracial woman. It takes you on a journey from my childhood to my adulthood through the use of textiles. So in each piece, I wanted to show a moment of my life where my racial identity was challenged. And so the first look you'll see is when I'm between the ages of 7 and 9, and it's called the christening. So it's when my sister and I sat in front of a judge. He asked us who we wanted to live with. And so we said we wanted to live with our mother. He told us no. His words were, colored parents can raise colored children better. And at that point in my life, I didn't really realize that there was a difference between my mother and I, or even my father and I. And so in that look, you'll see there's a representation of a christening gown and a judge's robe that I morphed together to create the design. And then I quilted my own self into it. But the image that I used to quilt was a moment of joy. So I wanted to include that moment of joy in a moment of, you could say sadness or confusion, but really ultimately the first time in my life when someone challenged how I saw myself. So also behind each image is a window. The first look as well has an empty window. And as we go throughout each look, that window slowly gets filled and filled as if it's healing. And so that's why by the last look, we see it put together. Though there are still cracks and it's still imperfections, I'll never be perfect, no one really will be. But as we go through each look, it shows someone who is slowly but surely healing. The difference with the last two looks, by the time we get to the fourth look, which is my 30s, it's my daughter. So I actually quilted her sonogram because that was my hope. I always wanted a child and I was told I wouldn't be able to have one. So for me, this is the miracle look. It was my rebirth. And by the time we get to the last look, which is called Freedom, I quilted an image of my daughter dancing because now it's about her. And because of the traumas I went through, I now will be able to teach my daughter or guide her through life when I didn't really have that guidance. I went back through all of my old poetry and I pulled a piece from my life at that time period. And I embroidered the pieces with hair weave. Because growing up, people would touch my hair, they'd ask me if my hair was real, they would tell me I had the good hair, and so I wanted to use hair because we put a lot of importance on our hair in general with society and how we get treated as people of color, whether we wear our hair natural or if we're wearing it straight. And for me now, I always wear my hair natural, no matter how I am perceived by it. So I really do hope that this exhibition is cathartic for other people as well as it's been for myself. I hope Torn Mixology challenges you to create a conversation about race. And let's not judge everyone and let's not put them down and make the jokes. Just remember, words really do matter and they do have power. This exhibition continues through March 25th at the Kranzberg Arts Gallery. For more information, check out www.kranzbergartsfoundation.org.